if we're going live, and here we are.
I think we're live.
We're live. We're live. Hi, everybody. And we'll wait a couple minutes until we see people start to come in. What did you just do? Like, peace time. Yeah. Woo! It's Liz and Gregg live, everybody. So I'm just going to check to make sure that we are streaming live. If you're joining us, and I see a few people have joined us, would you please do me a favor and just make a comment in the comment area? Say, hey, hey, Gregg and Liz, or something so we know that we're coming through okay. That would be most helpful, my lovely, lovely friends.
It's the Liz and Gregg show. The Liz and Gregg show.
The Liz and Gregg show. Oh, there's Leslie and Colleen and Nana and Katrin and Faray. Oh, here we go. It's going fast.
Okay.
Oh, this is a beautiful name. Okay, let me see if I can say it. Charanjiva Fabiano Marazzi. Isn't that a gorgeous name? And Roxanne is here, and Paola and Stina. I'm thinking we have an extremely international audience with us.
Yeah.
And
Liz,
so
how come I can't see the comments? What do I have to do to see the comments?
Over to the right of your screen. Yeah. You should see like an area that says comments.
I see the area. Okay, there it is. It was not turned on.
You see everybody?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? Yvette and Cicely and Marjorie and Anita and Imperatrice. And I'm so sorry if I'm really abusing some of your names here, but I'm really trying. It's so wonderful that you're all joining us. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who I am, which I'm certain that quite a few of you don't know who I am. My name is Liz Dawn. There it is at the bottom of the screen. My name is Liz Dawn, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Celebrate Your Life events. And I have known Gregg for about 20 years, and Gregg has been one of our amazing presenters at our Celebrate Your Life events for like over 20 years now. And it is always such a fantastic honor and pleasure to work with Gregg, to hang with Gregg, to chat with Gregg, to just be with Gregg, right? Don't you guys all agree? Isn't he just like amazing and lovely and wonderful and filled with such great wisdom? I say a huge round of applause for Gregg Braden, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I need to record this and listen to it first thing when I wake up every morning to start my day. Liz, this is the way I want to begin my day. But we do have a history together.
Yes, we do.
And I never take it for granted, but I'm always deeply appreciative and filled with gratitude when you invite me to participate in the Mishka events. And this is one of the first events that we've done that is not a Celebrate Your Life. It is a standalone kind of event, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This is a dance. I'm going to follow your lead, but I'm going to let you lead us into.
I know we're stepping outside. We're stepping outside the box, you guys. Yeah, so here's we've got everybody from all over the world. From Kevin McConnell says, "Hey, what's the history, bro?" It's not as lascivious as it sounds. We're just dear, dear friends of the heart, and we've known each other for quite a long time. And Gregg knew my mom and has just been hanging out with us for a long time, and really is so close to my heart and such a dear, dear friend. So, okay, there's all these great comments coming in. So we do have a really fun announcement at the end. So stick around to the end. But we are going to talk. I'm going to tease it a little bit and say that we are doing something that's never, ever, ever been done before. Oops, I don't know how that got there. Tanya, what's going on there? And we're doing something we've never, ever done before. And we'll tell you about it towards the end of this conversation. So make sure you stick around because we are going to have a great conversation with Gregg. So Gregg, we're going to talk about right now, let's talk about our bodies, resiliency, adapting to change, what's going on. We started to touch a little bit about aging. You and I were just kind of hanging out, chatting, and all about the aging process. So take it away, Gregg Braden, with your fabulous, amazing wisdom.
Thank you, Liz, so much. So I'm just going to say welcome to everyone. Liz, you said you're welcome. I'm going to welcome everyone, our global family. And, you know, we're all being asked to socially distance, and it's especially important that we do not socially isolate. And Liz, I want to thank you for making this possible today. And I keep saying, if you're going to have a global pandemic, man, it's good to have it in the technological age so we can come together like this. I am speaking to you from my office and studio in Santa Fe, just outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico, where we are having an unseasonably early winter with rain and snow. It's about 36 degrees outside right now. That has brought an end to the fire season that has caused so much suffering for our friends and family here in New Mexico and also up in Colorado. They're having the same storm. We're trying to send some of this out to the West Coast for the fires in California now.
Yeah, yeah. We have to do a global prayer. Just let's take a second and send rain to California, no matter where you are in the world. We've got Holland, we've got Mexico, we've got everywhere. We've got Winnipeg, we've got Holland, we've got Germany. Oh, someone just shared that you are her spiritual crush. I love that.
That means a lot. That means a lot to me today. So our love certainly is with our friends and our family all throughout the Western coast, all the way from Seattle and Portland, all the way down into Southern California. I know you guys are having a really tough time, and I just want you to know your hearts are with us. Our hearts are with you, and we're sending lots of love and hopefully some rain and snow out your way.
Yes, and I'm just visualizing just California, not drenched, but just enough rain to wet the ground and put out those fires.
Yeah.
That's because we don't want to overwhelm it with too much water and swing the opposite way, but that's what I've been visualizing. So talk to us, Gregg. Share.
Liz, you're asking about our bodies, and I think, body awareness is up for everybody right now because of COVID-19. This is a universally shared experience where we are being asked to trust our bodies in ways that we've never been asked in recent memory as a global family. It used to be, I remember just a few years ago, people that made it a point to eat well and to exercise and take care of themselves were called health nuts. And now it is actually the focus of our lives, and our very survival depends upon us and our understanding of our relationship to our bodies. And this is, there's a beautiful place, Liz, where science and spirituality and social policy all come together in a really very cool way. And this is where we are right now, because new discoveries based in rock solid science. So these are not Gregg's theories or Gregg's hypotheses, but these are new discoveries are revealing new information about our relationship to our bodies that simply is not making it into the mainstream. So, and for example, I recently, just before COVID, the last event that I did was in Arizona. It was in your state. Right. And we had medical doctors, we had cardiologists, we had neurologists and neurosurgeons in our audience as I was sharing the discoveries. And they were asking me during the break, and they were raising their hands during the conference, saying, how come we don't know about this? Why aren't we hearing about this in the classrooms, in the textbooks? So there is typically a lag time of between 6 and 8, maybe 10 years between when a new discovery is made and when it is accepted. But there is also a battle playing out right now, a battle for our thoughts. We all know that there's a battle for our thoughts in mainstream, but the battle goes deeper because there's a battle for our beliefs, our battle for our very humanness and the way that we think of ourselves and our relationship to our bodies. And that battle is impeding the ability of this information to make it into the mainstream. There is a reluctance and in some cases a resistance to share these discoveries because they are empowering discoveries.
That's what I wanted to know, because it does take away from all of the allopathic modalities of healing. I don't want to say healing, but all of the, allopathic medicine and all of the pharmaceutical companies. I'm assuming that's where you're going with that. Is that?
I want to be really clear. I have a deep respect for allopathic medicine. I have a deep respect for Western medicine. I have a deep respect for pharmaceuticals. They all have their place, Liz. And this is as a scientist. As a scientist, I've seen this throughout my years. This is the 37th year that I've done this particular work in one form or another. But I was a scientist long before this. And what I'm about to say, I have seen across the broad spectrum of the scientific community, and that is that the science and the technology always precede the morality of how we apply what we learn how to do. So just because we can engineer human life, just because we can edit DNA in the womb of a living woman, just because we can do these things doesn't mean that we should. And we're struggling with this right now. But what these discoveries are telling us, Liz, we are the only form of life that we know exists today that has the ability to consciously self-regulate our biology. And that is a huge statement for me to make, because we are taught, I was in school in the 1950s, 1960s, early 1970s, but they're still teaching the same thing today, that our bodies just do things that we have no control over. And we now know that is absolutely, it's not that it's incorrect, it's false. It simply is false. And the new discoveries in science, epigenetics, some people have heard about, is a term that now the scientific community is applying to show that when we change our environment, we change the way our body responds to the environment. Now, environment, that can mean the environment outside of us, but it also means our emotional environment, our spiritual environment, our mental environment, our psychological environment, our physiological environment. When we begin to make changes in those environments, those changes actually have the ability to what's called upregulate. We can actually improve the function of the DNA in our bodies. We can change the way we age. We'll talk about this in a few moments. I'll just talk about it now. We will all age in chronological time. We will all be an hour older an hour from now than we are now. However, what these discoveries are showing us very clearly is that while we move forward in chronological time, it is very easy to move backward in biological time. And what I mean by that is there are markers in the body, biological markers that we use to determine our age. You can be 60, 70, 80 years old, and you can reverse those biological markers so that when you're tested, you are having the blood chemistry of a 40 or a 50-year-old, or you're having the bone density of a 30 or 40-year-old, or you're having the immune response, which is what we all want right now, or you're having the collagen response in your face, your telomeres that determine how long your cells live and divide can become younger, biologically younger, while we move forward in chronological time. And we are the only form of life that have the ability to consciously self-regulate this. So what I mean is we're the only form of life that can sit down in a moment in time and say, in this moment, I choose to awaken my longevity enzymes. I choose to enhance my immune response. Man, who doesn't want a stronger immune system in a global pandemic?
I know.
So all of these discoveries, this is a very, very different way of thinking about ourselves, Liz, and it is awakening what is called a new human story. And it is a beautiful story of hope, possibility, of sovereign biology. And we're talking about the sovereignty of the human body in a world where we are being taught fear. We're being taught to fear a contagion that we haven't seen before. We're being taught not to trust our bodies, but to believe that we need something outside of ourselves in order to feel safe in this world. Now, I want to be very clear about this. I am not anti-vaccine. I took vaccines when I was a kid. I think a lot of us did. They're very different than what is being offered or what will be offered in the near future. Completely different technologies. And the beauty of the technology is it's there for people that need it. But if you have a reasonably healthy immune system and you have a reasonably healthy body, your body has the intelligence to know what to do with a contagion, as we have done for the 200,000 years that anatomically modern humans have existed on this planet. So, and I think the fear is actually paralyzing people in their lives. It's destroying families,
Absolutely.
destroying communities. So
Absolutely.
I'm not anti-vax, but I think we all need to discern what our body's ability is in the presence of what we're seeing. And here's the question, Liz, and it all comes down to this. We know that our bodies have the ability to defend against contagions, any contagion. Our bodies have the ability to do that. The question is, do we love ourselves enough to give our bodies what they need to be at their best, to do what they know how to do? Do we love ourselves enough to do all the common sense things that used to be called, a health net? Do we love
Exactly.
ourselves enough to actually give ourselves nutrition that supports us rather than just junk food that fills the space in our stomach? Do we love ourselves enough so that everything that we do in our lives, we do because it's good for us, because it supports the gift of life in our bodies? And when we answer that question for ourselves, that tells us where we are in our ability to have the kinds of healthy experiences we're talking about. I just want to say something, right? One of the
Yeah.
discoveries, the average human, whatever average means, the average human, we're told, has about 50 trillion cells in the human body. So I don't even know what a trillion of something looks like, but I know it's a bunch, okay?
Right.
So a whole bunch of cells. So the average human has about 50 trillion cells. Here's the deal. Every one of those cells has an electrical voltage potential of 0.07 volts. So every cell in our body is like a little charge of electricity. And you do the math, 50 trillion times 0.07, we're talking about something like 350 trillion volts of electrical potential.
Wow. Right.
Think about this. Every cell in the body functions as a resistor, just the way the resistors in our computers and our cell phones, every cell in our body functions as a transistor. Every cell in our body functions as a capacitor. Every cell in our body stores information. It retrieves information. It emits photons of light. It receives photons of light. It is a small electrical circuit. It's called a gated circuit. Every cell in the body, and we regulate that through thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, diet, exercise, lifestyle. We're
Actions.
the only form of life that can consciously do this. So we are literally a highly advanced, technologically sophisticated, soft technology. We don't have chips and wires and chemicals. We have tissue and membranes and blood, and all of this is so fascinating to me. All of the external technology that we have built, and I worked in the high tech industry during the
Right.
Cold War, I mean, lasers and radar systems,
Exactly.
guidance systems, advanced technology. Liz, I have yet to see any technology built in the laboratory that does not mimic what we already do in the cells and with the neurons of our body, except we do it better than the technology is able to do. So it's a very different way of thinking, because we're taught that we're vulnerable, that we're powerless, fragile beings. And we are fragile in some respects, but we're also very resilient. And we also have this ability to enhance and self regulate our biology. And when we begin to awaken this, it changes our relationships. We have
Right.
stronger relationships with our loved ones. We're better in the workplace. We're more creative. We're more imaginative.
But we're
We're
definitely built to change, to adapt. And I think that
absolutely.
that's the misnomer. And I just want to acknowledge there's so many questions coming up. I'm kind of like looking back and forth. But I love what Janae said here. She said, the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And you're absolutely right. And there's so many questions about how do we do this? How do we shift our energy? What do we do? So I'm just going to share with everybody really quickly, and then we'll go into more detail about this towards the end of our conversation. Everything that Gregg is sharing, he has partnered with Dr. Sue Morter. And we are going to be doing a program so everybody in the world could participate. This is like a dream for me. I get to do a program where everybody around the world gets to play and hang out with us and be with us. So that's going to be very, very cool coming up here. but I want you to speak a little bit about, so we've got an online event coming up
Sure.
on October 16th through the 18th with Gregg Braden and Dr. Sue Morter for the first time ever. And so what I'd like you to do just for a minute, Gregg, talk about why you decided that Sue Morter was a great combination for your teachings.
I'm happy to do that. I'm going to do that, but I want people to know, if people aren't going to be with us for that, I want to give some things here today that people can do. So, but I will answer the question. Dr. Sue and I respect her work tremendously. I've followed her work over the years. This is the first time that she and I have agreed to work together. So I'm going to say, as you can imagine, I have a lot of invitations to work, to collaborate. And I decline most of them, not because I'm not interested, but because it rarely makes sense, Liz, for me to work with someone else. What we often find is when people collaborate, sometimes it will actually dilute the message. With people like Bruce Lipton, people like Joe Dispenza, people like Sue Morter, it makes sense for us to work together because of our respective backgrounds. We are all scientists. We're bringing the science to bear in a practical, non-technical way. We're bringing the scientific principles that are really, really simple. Science is simple.
Well, and I love what you said at the beginning. I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. You said something in the beginning that was so key about body awareness and about the aging process and the divinity of all of our bodies. And that's exactly what Dr. Sue Morter teaches. So in thinking about like two spiritual science and spirituality teachers out there, you two are like the perfect complement to one another's work, because Dr. Sue created something called Body Awake Yoga. She also takes all these processes and she brings it into the body. She does a lot of experiential exercises with it. So I think it's almost as if like one hand sort of claps the other hand, which I love about both of your work. So I'm so excited about this program.
Well, I am as well. And of course, it's beyond the scope of what we can do in 20 or 30 minutes here. But what I want to say is the new discoveries, for example, there are new discoveries in the study of stem cells. And stem cells are much different than what we have been led to believe in some respects in the past. We've been taught that stem cells decline with age and that our ability to access those stem cells declines with age. And what the new science is showing, number one, is that the stem cells are still there. We just have to access them a little differently. A new class of stem cells has been discovered that is not even written about in most medical textbooks that precede the stem cells that we typically think about. These are called genesis cells. And at the age of 70 or 80 or 90, it's possible they're like spores. They're not typical cells. They're like spores, very resilient to the trauma of life. And that means they have protected all of that vital genetic information that we have the ability to access through epigenetics. So all the things that we're talking about, and they're very specific supplements. NAD plus, I'm just going to say this, NAD plus is a supplement that is getting a lot of press right now for a lot of different reasons, but it is directly implicated in the strengthening of our ability to access our stem cells, as well as upregulating of DNA, as well as the telomeres that reverse aging with the DNA. So that is one of the supplements that's really getting a lot of peer-reviewed study right now. So I want to just mention that. So the stem cells is one aspect of this. But both Sue and I have also studied with indigenous traditions, indigenous peoples throughout the world. And this actually, what a lot of people don't know, is that my time with indigenous peoples preceded my time as an author. And it was through the time that I was spending with the Bedouin in the deserts in Egypt, and the monks and the nuns and the abbots in the highlands of central China and Tibet, with the sadhus and the mystics and the yogis in the Nepal and India, and the healers and the curanderos and the Yucatan and the Andes of southern Peru, where Sue and I have shared common experiences. As different as these traditions are from one another, and they are not scientists, but they understand these fundamental relationships between us and our bodies and the epigenetic factors. including nutrition, including the things that we take into our bodies to support these systems. So we both have had the opportunity to witness in action these principles, but understand it through the eyes of science so that we can do more of what works and make it easier and do less of the things that may not be so necessary when we do these. And we both bring those to bear in our respective work.
And I find that so fascinating because, you know, she's been taking groups to Peru for years. You've been doing Peru. She's been doing Egypt. You've been doing Egypt. I mean, just your love of ancient cultures and indigenous cultures is just completely fascinating to me. And I just love the way your work complements each other. So I just want to share with everybody out there listening. So Dr. Sue Morter and the amazing Gregg Braden, for the first time ever together, you don't want to miss this because this is available to you no matter where you are in the world. Create your own little mini retreat at home on October 16th through the 18th. Now, right up here, I've got a discount code, and we are offering just for a very limited time, I think until next Tuesday. The discount code is Gregg with two G's, Gregg.
That's you know why? My mom did this intentionally because 2 G's is not a Gregory. One G is
Gregg.
Yeah, one G is short for Gregory. 2 G's is just plain old Gregg. So it's just Gregg.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the discount code. It's a $75 discount code. It is a screaming deal. As part of this program, we have packaged all of these amazing bonuses. So it's almost like getting 2 programs for the price of 1 program. And with that discount code, that helps a lot. It's a $75 discount code. It is only available until next Tuesday. And I don't have my calendar. I don't even know what the date is next Tuesday, but I know it's next Tuesday.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what are the bonuses? I don't know what the bonuses are.
Oh, the bonuses are, okay, so you ready for the bonus? Drum roll.
I don't know what they are.
Well, there's a 2-hour audio workshop with the amazing Gregg Braden. That's one of the bonuses that you get for free. There's a 5-hour video course with Dr. Sue Morter. It's a complete full course. In addition to the weekend event that you're getting, there is the ebook called Entanglement, all about, and we know what Entanglement is, a fiction, and it's all about a story, a novel that was written about these. Is it a novel? It's not. Is it a real story?
So it is a novel. It's a novel that was adopted from my book, The Divine Matrix, and the novel became a screenplay for a made-for-television series that had 3 pilot programs. My pilot was one, Wayne Dyer's was another, and Louise Hay was another. It was called Tales of Everyday Magic, and it is also a video as well. So I didn't know that, and I'm excited to know that that's part of the package.
Yes, and we've got another. Do you remember the video lesson that you and I did as part of that other program, the Soul Fest? There's also, I'm offering that for free. Okay. So that's part of the bonus, and there's just all kinds of great bonuses. It's literally getting 2 for the price of 1. So I just want to reiterate, because somebody said, what are you talking about? Okay, so Gregg Braden and Dr. Sue Morter are partnering for the very, very first time ever on an online event. So this is available to everybody all around the world. It's an online event on October 16th through the 18th. And if you go to celebrateyourlife.com, there's the URLs right there. But if you go to celebrateyourlife.com, you'll see it on the home page. The discount code is Gregg to get a $75 discount off of the already discounted price. We've already discounted from the regular price, and that's only available until next Tuesday. So you want to grab that immediately if you want to spend time with us, because it's going to be the first time they're ever teaching this. It's going to be highly experiential, We're going to make it fun. We're using a super Zoom platform. So Gregg is going to be able to see everybody. Dr. Sue's going to be able to see everybody. They're going to be doing a conversation. They're also going to be doing question and answer time. You'll get to interact with other event attendees because we've got this production company that behind the scenes, they're going to be putting people into breakout sessions. We have a private Facebook group for everybody, so you get to interact with everyone. So it's really an amazing, amazing program. And here's the best part. You get to save all that money on travel and hotel.
So Liz, I just want to jump in. I'm hearing some of this for the first time because we've been busy. So no, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate all the care that you put into making this a really meaningful event for our. We have a global community, but it's more than that. It's a global family. And we're going through a tough time right now. The whole world is going through a tough time. And I'm an optimist, and I'm also a realist. And realistically, our tough time isn't over yet. So I think it's really important that we come together. But I like it to be as fun and interactive as possible. And you've gone light years beyond what we've done in the past. So I just want to thank you for the effort and the care for you. And behind the scenes, there's a whole team behind the scenes that's doing this as well.
Well, I'm really excited because the information that Dr. Sue Morter and Gregg have to share is it's a game changer. And this event is going to be a game changer because especially during these difficult times, this is the time when we need this the most. And this is the time that we need to come together in community and support one another and nourish our souls, honor our spirit. And we have to utilize all the the platforms available to us. And so we are going to make the best of it. We're going to have like little dance breaks during the event. We're going to make sure that you're all prepared for it. You're going to just love being with us because one of the things that we do is truly concierge service. And we really, really make sure that everyone is really taken care of. And especially with this event, Dr. Sue is going to do body awake yoga on one of the mornings. So we're going to have a huge, huge yoga class at her body awake yoga on Sunday morning. So prepare yourselves for a lot of fun. Go check it out. It's self.com and it's /human potential. And let me see if there are any questions that anybody has for you right now that if anybody has a question for Gregg, we'll take one or two questions.
While you're looking at the questions, Liz, I just want to say to people that one of the factors that is depleting our immune systems and causing, and I know you all know this, and causing the most problems right now is stress. Stress, we have emails from people saying they're sleeping more, they have a hard time waking up in the morning, they're feeling depressed where they typically are not experiencing depression, but they are. All of this is perfectly normal because we are going through a massive paradigm shift and we don't know the outcome. And not knowing the outcome is the source of the stress. If you know where things are going, you know how to think and what to plan, but we don't know that. And the media is telling us, and all the things out there, they're telling us how bad things are, but we have no way to resolve these things. That's a source of stress. One of the things that you can do, and I will talk about this in detail in the course. If you've been with me in any courses in the past with Mishka, with Liz, or anything, we know that the discovery in 1991 of specialized cells in the human heart gives us potentials that we've never understood in the past. Those cells in the heart, they're neurons that harmonize with the neurons in the brain. And when we can harmonize the heart and the brain through what's called heart-brain coherence. And if any of you have studied heart math, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is one of the most powerful stress relievers so that you can have a good night's sleep and then so that you can kind of smooth out the rough edges of the emotional chaos. So it's beyond the scope. Again, we're almost 40 minutes after the hour now. We can't go into this in detail here. I will, and there are applications from these techniques that go far beyond the techniques themselves. That's what I'm going to be exploring in this course I do with Dr. Sue. But I want you to know now, if whatever you can do to relieve the stress is going to enhance your immune response. It's going to reverse that fight or flight tendency, which is stirring up all of the stress hormones in your body. And this is the time that you least want that. So this is the irony, Liz. The time when we least need to be stressed, we're giving all these reasons that keep us in stress. But we have the ability to change that because we have the ability to self-regulate our biology. So all the things we know, good diet, sleep, yoga, walking, exercise, coherence between the heart and the brain, all are very, very powerful functions to at least give your body some relief from the stress that we're all feeling every day. And you see the benefits almost immediately. So that's the powerful feedback that we all like to see. So I just wanted to say that. And there's a couple of questions. I'd be excited.
I know. I was actually sort of like trying to do this to kind of go back and forth. I haven't seen any questions yet. Oh, Bill Van Horn is here. Hi, Bill Van Horn. You met him in Scamania when we did Celebrate Your Life Scamania. Let me see. My question is, okay, where are some questions? I'm going through them. I don't see question marks. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure and put a question mark next to it so I can, like, it can be tagged because there's lots of comments going through here really quickly. So I just want to reiterate that we are doing, Dr. Sue Morter and Gregg Braden are doing a weekend event on October 16th through 18th. It is called Redefining Wholeness and Your Human Potential. And it's going to all be about your body, your potential, learning how to adapt and change and move with what's going on.
I'll answer a question.
Sure.
Liz, that we get all the time. And the question is, what the hell's going on?
There you go.
Why is this happening? And I will not talk about this during the course, but as a scientist, as an earth scientist, as a systems scientist, I have the same question. And what I can tell you all is this, is that we are living a rare convergence of natural rhythms and cycles that we have not seen in 5,000 years of recorded human history. Those natural rhythms and cycles, they're everything from climate to economy, the economic systems, to human conflict. They are all following natural rhythms that can be known and predicted. We've talked about this for over 36 years now. I've written books about it. The difference is we're living it now rather than just talking about it. So we are living this convergence where anything that is unsustainable is breaking down before our very eyes. It does not last forever. It's a rare, narrow window of time where these systems are breaking down. And for me, the good news is that means we'll get through it. The question is, what do we do with ourselves while we're getting through it? And this is where all of the things I'm sharing with you are so exciting, because it is about body sovereignty, not hinging our sense of well-being on the world around us. We are conditioned to hinge our emotional well-being and our sense of safety on the external world. Mm-hmm. If you're doing that in a world that is falling apart, you're going through some stuff. But if you can begin to find what I call the emotional anchor, it is that rock solid emotional anchor where you know without a shadow of a doubt who you are as a human, what it means to be human, what your capabilities, what your potentials are. Then you shift your sense of well-being from the external to the internal. When you do that, it gives you the freedom to allow the world to go through all the gyrations the world's going to go through without getting caught up in those gyrations. But you all know this. If you know people that are clinging onto every word of every commentator of the news stations on network TV, they are a wreck. They're frightened, they're angry, they're trying to convince and persuade their friends and family of a certain viewpoint, and they're losing friends by doing that. They are stressed, they are sick, because they have yet to learn that our well-being is meant to be. We are designed to hinge that sense of well-being up on our inner knowing, what I call our inner technology. And when we take our bodies off of autopilot, Liz, and we assume the responsibility for our well-being, for our health, health, all the things that we're talking about here, for our psychological, our mental, our spiritual, our emotional, our physiological well-being, it's a game changer. And
Right.
all of a sudden, we are free from what's happening in that external world. At least we're free from being caught up in the emotions, the depleting emotions, and we're more effective at being present for our families, for ourselves. We think better, we make better decisions, and we're going to see this thing through. So the question is, what are we on the other side of this window that we're going through? We're making that choice right now, and that's why I'm excited about the opportunity. So if my understanding is, I have a Friday night with Dr. Sue live, then we've got a full day of presentations, and then we've got on a Saturday, and then we've got a Sunday. So
Yes.
we have both interactive time where we can share and exchange ideas and discoveries, as well as presentation time. And I'm excited to share that with Dr. Sue. She's a brilliant woman. I'm honored to share the stage with her. I respect her tremendously, and she's just a lot of fun to be with.
I know. Absolutely. I love all of this. I love when you, and I've heard you use this before about body sovereignty. And the minute you say that, boy, that brings me right back down to center. And one of the gifts that Dr. Sue has that she brings to the table for this event that we're going to be doing is that she's actually going to do some experiential exercises that brings all of that consciousness right down into the body. So everything that Gregg talks about in terms of our body knowingness, our body's adaptability, our resilience, Dr. Sue's actually going to do some experiential exercises that complement all the theories and all the science and all the information that Gregg, you bring to the table. So again, let me just share with you, the URL is celebrateyourlife.com/human potential. Until next Tuesday, we're offering a $75 discount off of the already discounted price. And the discount code is Gregg with 2 G's. So it's Gregg with 2 G's. And you'll get that on checkout. We do have payment plans available. Our phone number's on the website. All the information's on the website. The beauty of this program is that we are offering a ton of amazing bonus packages. And this will prepare your energy, prepare you, give you all the information you need for walking into this program. It's like getting 2 courses in one. It truly is. And I'm so excited. The first time they've ever worked together, you guys. This is so cool. It's going to be very electric. All right. Okay, so I don't think I see any questions. So we're just going to go ahead and sign off now. I just want to thank everybody for joining us. Wow, all around the world. We've got Portugal, we've got Italy, we've got Germany, we've got everywhere.
Thank you all. We love you. We love you all. And I wish we could just go out and hug everybody, Liz. Wouldn't that be great?
I know. So we're doing a group hug. Okay, everybody? We're group hugging everybody.
All right.
Sending
Liz,
so much love to you.
Thank you. And the beautiful team you have behind the scenes. We're not seeing them today, but we all know they're there. Thank you all for all the care that you've put into making this just a really quality event to honor both Dr. Sue and myself, as well as the message. And I think that's really important to do this in a way that's truthful, honest, factual, and honoring to all of us in our experience. So thank you for that, Liz.
Yes. All right. And affordable, because you don't have to do the traveling and the hotel costs. So there you go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.